Hi, we're Donnie and Anna. We have 5 children, love spending time together and learning new skills. 4 years ago, we fell in love with and purchased 46 acres not far from our home with the dream of building a small farm and home there that we've been working toward one project at a time, including building an outhouse, clearing brush and trees, putting in our driveway, and prepping the build site. In our last video, we showed you how we poured our footers for our barn build, and this time we'll be showing you how we did our stem wall pour using Foxblocks ICFs.
Today we're going to get started on our ICF stem wall build, and for the top of the wall I didn't want to have exposed foam above grade, so we're going to create a little form at the very top of the wall. First step, we're going to go through and clean the top of the footers and straighten our vertical rebar.
Our middle son is trying to make sure that our footers are really clean before we start building our ICF walls on top. Another really important thing is to make sure that we are within 1/8 of an inch when we set these blocks, because any mistakes down here will only compound as the building goes up. Now, we were able to get our Foxblocks ahead of time, even before our footer pour, and that was incredibly helpful because it helped us to be able to place our vertical rebars in such a way that we knew they were not going to interfere with the webbing in the Foxblocks. So what are those doing?
These hold the blocks together. Like, see, Mom? See, it's all moving as one unit?
Okay.
HV clips. They lock them horizontally and vertically.
HV clips are specific to Foxblocks. Other manufacturers use different locking methods. Now, sometimes you have to make a splice, and those are locked together a little bit differently using plywood, which we will show later in the video. Foxblocks does make a T-block in their 8-inch block, but because we were required to go with a 10-inch, we had to make our own. I'm cutting the nubs off from the top course to make screeding the block off easier later. Donnie pulled string lines to make sure that the wall was straight before locking it into place or adding the topper, because after that it would be very difficult to fix. We're adding this topper so that we won't have any exposed foam above grade. And you'll see later on in the video that we almost had a disaster and ended up having to add spreader bars in the middle of the pour. In hindsight, we would have added the spreader bars right from the get-go.
That's plenty there, buddy.
Yeah.
Donnie built these boxes as a place to put any leftover concrete from our last pour, and our middle son is helping him get him ready again for this one.
Stroke.
When you're pouring an ICF wall, you start away from the corner and pour the concrete in lifts, going around more than once. You also want to make sure that you don't hang out in the corners too long, because that can make it more likely to blow out. This contraption here is called a concrete vibrator, and we are using it to make sure that we don't end up with air pockets in the wall.
Hi, do you have a fan? Is that cooling your feet off and your hands? Truck number 2 is here.
Topper form had started to bow, and if we hadn't caught it right away, it could have been a total disaster. Thankfully, we still had the spreader bars from our footer pour nearby. And with the amazing help of the kids, Donnie's dad, Donnie's uncle, my dad, my brother, we were able to get the spreader bars on and finish the pour. And we are so incredibly thankful.
Whenever you choose to DIY something, you learn exactly how much work it is and why contractors charge what they do. That being said, I don't think that people should be afraid of doing things for themselves just because it's a lot of work. The satisfaction of doing something with your own hands, knowledge gained, and money saved can make it well worth the effort.
not a disaster, but praise God, it didn't blow open. There is a big bow there, but it's still standing. Bonnie is working on saw cutting the part of the wall that almost blew out, and he's doing a really good job. Look how straight this is. He's got to go a little bit deeper before it's done, but it's looking really good. See, the other parts of the wall look absolutely fantastic.
We are super excited to have this foundation in. The only thing I would have done differently is reinforce the form that we created at the top of the ICF wall a little better, because partway through the wall, that top of the form started to split a little bit, and we had to stop the pour, put spreader bars in, and that was fine. But other than that, it worked out good.